Alright, I realized that probably did not have good lighting in the other video I took, so I'm gonna try just another one to show off in better lighting some of the aesthetics of the new TrueSkate, as well as some differences between previous model and my current skates with what's going on there. So let's start with what I'm wearing now, or what I was wearing. The AS1, just a stock fit. Played my last game and then last night. I love these skates a lot. I've got very big ankles, so what happens with me is I push out all the ankle pockets of every skate I've had, at least for like the last 4 generations of skates. With that said, haven't had them punched out or anything, just kind of like wear the padding out until it's very thin there, and just I think my ankles are so messed up that it just doesn't hurt anymore. So I was told I could either do surgery for that, where there would be a lot of downtime obviously, or a custom skate. So that's what I went with the custom, because obviously I'm not going to take any time off. So a couple things on this boot. I loved it a lot. Boots don't last seemingly like they used to. I don't know. I skate a lot. I play in 2 leagues. I do private lessons, group lessons. I work with a couple different groups of teams. Do a couple men's league pickup skates, competitive pickup skates. So these get their fair share of ice time. So I always thought it was that. And so from tying the skates a million times, all the eyelets have ripped through the fabric. One thing I would recommend is if these eyelets pop out, get them replaced right away, because that's gonna, if you don't, it's gonna lead to this. They're gonna pull out. So what happens is when I tie my skates, I've got a crisscross wherever the eyelets are not broken, and I make it work, but it's not ideal because it's going to add more time to tying the skates and getting them off. But the big thing is your foot's going to move around in the skate, and you're going to have an energy loss and weight transfer, energy transfer. So one thing that happens on the boots is on like the last maybe 4 generations or so, they start to crease on the outsole, and it'll happen maybe a little bit more in the other skate. But so I thought I knew just about everything. You can see this one's pretty beat up as well. Same thing, eyelets are going. I've broken many blades on these, but I just got them replaced and just keep going. I also lose a ton of rivets here, so I don't always have time. I try to air my skates out after every skate and game that I do. But one thing I would try to maybe do in the future with these, just for longevity, is take them out, take the footbed out, maybe even take the blade out, though I don't want to loosen up the holder here, the blade in the holder. So that's, we'll see how much time I get. But take the footbed out, and maybe even put like a fan in the area just to have all the moisture wick away and evaporate, dissipate, whatever you want to say. So yeah, I like these a lot. But you'll see the boots, this is just happens when you, I don't know, leave them out in the sun, use them a lot, get pucks to the skates, the layers are going to chip away. But yeah, so they crease on the outsole, and I thought it was just from wearing my skates a ton, but apparently I have a very low volume of foot. So what's happening is there's extra space probably here and maybe even here when I'm skating. So my foot goes a little bit more that way. There's more pressure put in that area. So what happens is they break down. I thought it was just from using them a shit ton, but apparently it's just because I have a low volume foot. So this is going to be the best fit for me right now. I've also had previous TrueSkates, which I did like a lot. A little heavy. Swapped out the holder for the toque and the Blackspeed. They're the LS5. I have not had these profiled. I've actually never had blades profiled. I just wear through the life of it via sharpening, or ask them if they can grind down the toe and heel a little bit more. And some guys will do it, some guys won't. Apparently it heats up the blade a lot. I've sharpened skates in the past and I've done it, and whether I was just naive and unaware of its effects, it seemed to be okay for me. I would just do like an extra 10 or 15 passes on the toe and heel, because with this one I feel I cannot turn as well. So ideally I would have to have them profile a little bit more, or just through the life of the blade as it gets sharpened, and it's going to give me a better turning radius. So I didn't mind the other holders, but these ones are very sleek looking. And I don't know if this was a result of maybe not drying my skates enough, but I ran into all my rivets popping out, or almost all my rivets popping out. So that was very annoying, because same thing as what's happening with the AS1s, as you skate, your foot moves around or the blade moves around, and it's a very weird feeling and you don't feel precise. So you can see some of these have been replaced, a bunch of these are rusting out. So maybe I could just air my skates out better and I would avoid that. But I think that it's gonna pretty much happen in every skate. It's gonna break down. This boot is in great condition. I really didn't need to upgrade to this new boot. This one I definitely need to upgrade from. But what I did not like about these was the tongue is so long, and so for coaching it's not a big deal. And I know I can adjust this a little bit more. Maybe I should have tinkered with that, but with coaching it's not a big deal. But when I go and play a game and put the shin guards on, I've got a 15-inch shin guard, and I can't really do the flop. It feels weird to me. I like to tuck them under. So you know, maybe I know these are adjustable, maybe I could adjust it a little bit more, but that was annoying to me. I hate feeling the restriction on the top of my foot, and it was very tight like that. But other than that, the boot felt great. A little heavy, definitely coming off the CCMs and swapping back and forth. So if I had a broken blade with these guys and I wear these, definitely notice the difference. Definitely notice the blade height and lack of radius there. And then, so here's I wanted to bring up an issue. I'm sure you can't see that well, but you can imagine or just follow along with me. So they have a rivet here in these skates, and when you take off these skates, you want to make sure that you unlace it, like at least the top three. And the temptation is then to use your other foot and then push the tendon guard. But what you should do is pull it from the holder or like the heel, so that you're not putting pressure here, because these will pop off. If you do shoot the ducks, which is it's like a pistol squat on ice, sometimes people will sit on there, and that's going to put a lot of pressure and that's going to pop off. You can get it replaced, but I feel like once it pops off the first time, it's going to just keep popping off. They're going to keep redoing the rivets, and not a big deal. You can actually skate that way, but you might lose a little like spring forward on your push off. I don't really notice it a whole lot, honestly, other than it just being aesthetically not ideal. You know, you figure you pay a ton of money for good skates, you don't want that to happen. So hasn't happened with these. These are still actually really rigid, but I know they can break in certain skates, and so maybe it's just a case-by-case basis. But anyway, these ones in the light, I think they're very attractive looking. I like the blue aesthetic. I think it looks a lot better than like on the previous models. You can make this blue. I didn't love that color. I think this one looks a little bit more sleek. So these are the custom. These are the best fit for my skate. I upgraded the blade to the black steel, step steel. Haven't used these yet. I got them baked on Sunday, and apparently I asked the guy when I should use them, and he said Tuesday, so that's today. So looking forward to trying it. These are the stock blades. I haven't had them profiled. They look a little bit smaller than the previous ones that I got with this, which blades are very tall, and there's a lot of steel, so good for the stride, not great for the turning. So find what you like. I prefer to maybe take off a little heel and toe, just so I can have a good mixture of powerful long strides, but also quick turning and agility. That's, I think, very important too. I love the look of this. It's a lot lighter. It's actually, when I looked it up, it's only a little bit heavier than the AS1, so I'm excited about that. Unfortunately, it can't do anything for